Hey y'all, and welcome back to the podcast Testify with Ty. So glad that you tuned in with me today. I'm going to go ahead and get right into our topic, which is titled Don't Shrink in the Shift. So, this episode is for the person who knows God is doing something new in you. I mean, you can feel it, you're growing, you're walking differently, you're reading your word more, you're praying and you're fasting, you're more confident than you used to be. And you notice the change and others do too. But somehow at the same time, things feel harder. You're feeling like a rubber band stretched, wondering if this thing is ever gonna pop, right? Continuously asking yourself, why does it feel like things got more complicated when I started doing what God called me to do? And I think a lot of us can resonate being in this season, what I like to call the shift. I can definitely say this is where God has me right now. There's the season called the shift where God starts stretching you. You're stepping into purpose. You're finally owning what God placed inside of you. You're doing more. You're doing what He's called you to do. You're bold and you're confident. But sometimes the shift isn't always loud. It's quiet and can be uncomfortable and can get ugly. Weird things can start to happen in this shift. And I've noticed some people start moving funny. The people who used to clap for you, they don't clap anymore. And you started just noticing little things. And before you know it, you start checking yourself and second guessing yourself, wondering, well, what did I do wrong? Did I say something wrong? Is it something that I've done? Did I offend anyone? So instead of this season where God has you shifting, you start to shrink and you shrink your voice. You start dimming your light, not because God told you, but because people were uncomfortable in the shift that you were in the season God had you in. You started to care more about what they said versus what God said and cared more about, how they felt. So, and let me be honest, in those moments, I didn't want to walk away from God. I just wanted to shrink back and just go into my little hole, right? I didn't speak as much. I was very isolated. Even if I had an answer or a solution to a problem, I didn't speak up because fear had paralyzed me in a way where I was just like, I'm just not going to say anything because of fear of of what people thought or how they felt or perceived me. And I know a lot of times that happens to us where we stop being bold. We stop showing up the same way. We dim our light so someone else's can shine, and instead of fully being committed to our assignment, we just go through the motions. We started, just second guessing things God already confirmed. And I just want to encourage you today that I've been there. I've been where you are. And sometimes if I'm not, careful or prayed up, I can go back to that place feeling so uncertain and just not myself, not the woman God called me to be because I'm so paralyzed with fear. I'm scared and afraid of, being great because of what someone else may think of me or how they may, perceive me. And the truth is sometimes, of course, the enemy has different tactics, and sometimes he uses people through comments, opinions, jealousy, judgment. I mean, I can't tell you how many times I wrestled with those thoughts in my head, trying to figure out why someone doesn't like me. And that's just, crazy. I've never figured that out. But I understood that the enemy's goal was to distract me, right? His goal is to distract you and get you off focus and to make you forget why God called you in the first place. Because if the enemy can take your focus and shake your confidence, he can slow your obedience. And that's what was happening to me. I wasn't being disobedient, but it was a delayed obedience, which is still disobedient. Ephesians 6:12 tells us, "For we wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against principalities, against powers, against the rulers of the darkness of this world, against spiritual wickedness in high places." which means that our battle is not against people, it's against the enemy. He's our common enemy. We should all hate the enemy because we know that his assignment is to steal, kill, and destroy. But I'm here today to encourage you to remember your assignment because the assignment, it didn't change. God didn't bless you and then change his mind or called you and then decided you weren't ready. Because what I'm also learning is sometimes God calls us even when we're not ready, when we don't have it together. He's just looking for a willing vessel for someone to just say yes. Even resistance. I mean, sometimes resistance is confirmation that we are in good company. The devil wouldn't be trying to attack you if you were not a threat. He knows the souls that would be saved if you stuck to your assignment, the lives that could be changed and won over for the kingdom of God. 2 Corinthians 4:8 says, we are pressured in every way, hedged in, but not crushed, perplexed, but not driven to despair. So yes, while you feel the pressure and the stretching, and while you're wiping tears every night, uncertain, just know that you are sustained by God's power. And with his power, you will overcome. I specifically remember a time where I was on fire for God. God was doing new things in me. I was learning more. I was abiding in him, and he was blessing me, not so much with material things, but more with revelation, clarity, discernment, guidance, and all the things that I was asking for. But for some reason, I just thought, the enemy is just going to let me do my thing and be great. But in that season, attacks got harder. And it seemed like everywhere I went, someone disliked me. For what reasons, I have no idea. Because in my heart, I knew I didn't do anything to these people. But the enemy wanted to distract me, right? So God was giving me all these things. And I remember him giving me an assignment, telling me to start this Christian ERG on campus. I mean, God had planned this, set it out nicely where he put the person in my life to actually help me start the Christian ERG on campus. And it was amazing. But 2 months before the start of, the Christian ERG, we were supposed to have our first meeting. Um, Something crazy happened at work. I mean, I was lied on. My words were misrepresented, and came into work on a Monday and was told I was no longer in my position. I mean, I was so perplexed and confused, hurt and devastated because I just couldn't understand what was going on. So I cried. I moved all the way across campus into a space that wasn't even suitable for me. I mean, it was a mess, and I just wanted to give up on that assignment of starting the Christian ERG. But even through my pain and hurt, I was obedient, and I did what the Lord told me to do, started the Christian ERG. Our first meeting, our turnout, the turnout was wonderful. We had over 20 employees to show up. And I just thank God for giving me the strength to move past all of the hurt and to trust him even more. I learned in that moment that I needed to pray more. I started worshiping more. I fasted more. I read my word more, and God gave me the strength, right? So 2 months after I was moved into that position, the crazy thing is the man who moved me over there was the same man who gave me my new office and provided things in my office for me. So, which was crazy because I'm like, you moved me over here in the first place, but God used him to bless me. And that's what happens with obedience, because Proverbs 16:20 says God blesses those who obey him. And that's exactly what the Lord did for me. And I believe with all of my heart that because of through my obedience, he blessed me. So yeah, the walk was tough and it gets tough. But tough doesn't mean turn around. It means that you trust God even more and give him another yes. So if you're feeling like pulling back and shrinking back, don't. Keep moving, keep showing up, and keep trusting God. Don't let opposition cancel your assignment, that assignment that you know God told you to do. The shift, it feels uncomfortable only because it's necessary. You are necessary, and God has need of you. So stay bold, stay steady, and whatever you do, don't stop moving forward. That's it for today, guys. Remember, stay rooted, stay hopeful, and don't forget your testimony matters. So tell it.